If you're somebody who changes your haircutting system when different hairstyles and different hair textures get in your chair, you really need to stop and just lock in with this video, guys. I'm gonna teach you a universal haircutting system that can work on tapers, on fades, on curly hair, on straight hair. It doesn't matter. Let's lock in and get right into this tutorial, because after we comb and pick out the hair, what we're gonna do for shaping up this hair, we just wanna make sure that we smooth it out. We wanna get rid of any of the hills and valleys, right? We just wanna smooth out the shape, because at the end of the day, he's gonna be curling this up. This hair will be more curly, twisted up with a sponge, so we don't have to make it a perfect microphone afro, but we are gonna try to smooth out the hills and the valleys of this. You know, just give him a nice little shape up, something to start with, so we can lay the land and prepare for a clean, crispy taper. If you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. My name is Tito, and I make well over 6 figures in the barber industry. I don't do anything fancy. I just cut hair and I record it, showing you guys how to do the same. And the way that I was able to get there was through efficient haircutting systems. The most important thing, guys, is having one solid system that you can apply to every single one of your clients. And we're gonna get right into that. Let's just finish shaping this hair up on top, and we'll get right into the blend. Now, all the tools that we use in today's video, the scissors, the combs, the clippers, the trimmers, all of it is gonna be in the tagged section down below. So if you guys not only wanna use the same hair cutting system that I do, but also the tools, I made it super convenient for y'all to find everything in one spot. Check the tagged products down below. Now, the first tool that we're gonna use for establishing the taper, a lot of barbers are gonna recommend that you start this off with the trimmer. Now, what happens is that with the trimmer, it definitely sets a precise guideline, no question about that. But for me, I found that setting the guideline in with the trimmer made it more difficult to blend it out at the end, because it's such a sharp line. You know, that's a machine that's designed to do the front edges and the C-cups. It's really challenging to do that. So I found that setting in the base guideline with the clipper all the way closed sets a nice bald line that serves just as good as a reference point to where the blend ends, but it is much easier to work with at the end of the haircut. And you're gonna see this come together as we go through. So this is the primary guideline, clipper closed. This is serving as your bald line. Now, obviously, if you wanna do it with the trimmer, you totally can. The process doesn't change, but the steps, you can adjust a little bit, just depending on what you're comfortable with. For example, here, the next panel that I'm doing now, the secondary guideline, is with the half guard closed. Now, I've done videos showing where you can do this with no guard at all with the lever open. In this video, I'm showing you can do it with the half guard closed. Totally depends on what you're comfortable with. But my mentality behind doing this with the clipper, with the half guard all the way closed, is it also gives you a softer guideline to fade out. So the same reason I do clipper closed for the bald line, I'll do the half guard closed for the secondary guideline. These two lines set the tone for what you want the shape of your taper to be, whether it's gonna be a high taper, a low taper, or even if you're taking this all the way around the head, doing a mid fade or a high fade. So now that the primary and secondary guideline is already set, now we need to start worrying about how are we gonna blend up into the bulk, right? So personally, I'm using the 1.5 guard here. And you know, you can see here, I'm starting with it all the way closed, just because I wanna make sure that when it feeds into the curly hair, that I'll be able to float it up and off the head. And I wanna make sure that it's gonna be cut efficiently. Now, whether it's you start with it open, or whether you start with it closed, is totally up to you, but the important thing is that look at this motion here. I keep the pressure at the bottom and I float my way up and off the head. You know, if you're not fully comfortable with this yet and you don't want to try it yet, you can start with a bigger guard, let's say a 4, a 3, a 2, whatever you're comfortable with. But I wanted to show you that I could keep my blend limited to only 2 guards. In this case, the 1.5 guard and the half guard. So we're gonna go ahead and float this up into the fro, work on that transition and the blend at the same time. You're gonna see, guys, how easily this blend comes together, man. You're gonna love it. Stick around for this next step coming up shortly. So now, guys, check this out. We debulked and blended up with the 1.5 guard, right? We established a shape, we removed some bulk. Now all I have to do is I'm gonna return back down to the first guard that I used. Remember, we set that secondary guideline in with the half guard closed. Well, how about now we just take that half guard with the lever all the way open, and I'm still using a nice light floating pressure, right? Pressure at the bottom, floating my way up, and I can go from lever open and slowly work my way down to lever closed so it can fully blend out that secondary guideline that we put in. So you can see here, I've already established a shape with that 1.5, and now I'm just working on that middle blend here using this half guard, taking my time, starting with it open, adjusting the lever, and you're gonna see that secondary guideline is gonna disappear. Just pay attention to the motions here. I'm not doing any crazy flicking out motions or anything like that. You know, pressure at the bottom, float your way up, float your way to and through those guidelines. Now, you're gonna see as this blend here comes together, the only thing left to do is knock out that very bottom line that you started with the clipper closed. We're gonna address that in a minute, but just for now, keep watching how this blend comes together. It's pretty smooth how it happens. Now you'll notice here, before we go in for the kill shot and blend out that very bottom line, I'm just gonna use the same clipper all the way closed. Remember, we're about to blend out with this clipper closed anyway. But while I have the tool like this in my hand, I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage and clean up the shape a little bit. You remember like the little bits of the shape that I may have missed earlier with just using the scissors? I'm gonna go ahead and shape this up now while I have this tool in my hand, so that way I'm truly blending up into a finished product. You know, take pride in your work. This transition area, man, this could really make or break a haircut, a taper especially, because you could have a fire blurry blend at the bottom, but if it doesn't make sense how it grows up into the curls, that could just totally kill the whole vibe. Now, a part that gave me a lot of anxiety when I was a new barber, comment down below if you can relate to this, is that when it came time to blending out the very bottom line, I was so afraid that I was gonna make the blend too high. I was gonna push the fade way up and he was gonna end up with a super high fade, a crazy looking haircut. But here's the thing, guys, we started this guideline with the clipper all the way closed, right? So you can match that. Go ahead and break through that line with the clipper all the way closed. But now, you know, you're gonna go another level higher, so why not open up that lever to one more level longer as well? You're gonna hit notch number 1, break through that line and bring it a little higher. Notch number 2, bring it a little higher. Notch number 3, bring it a little higher. And you'll see the higher that you get, you know, like the longer it gets. So eventually it's gonna blend perfectly into that half guard that you set it with. So hopefully that can ease your anxiety while at the same time watching this blend come together. Guys, right here, this next step, I'm gonna show you a secret that I haven't shown you guys in a long time. Some of you guys might have forgotten about it. It's called the tiger claw method. Now, this is where having a half guard nearby with like shorter stubby teeth can definitely be to your advantage. I don't like doing typical blending with something that's in the shape of a wall half guard, but in this case, for the tiger claw method, when it comes to being able to help certain hairs lay down and blend like this, that actually can help a good bit. So try that out, guys. If you have an old wall half guard in your drawer, or if you have like this one, this is the Stylecraft, the one that came out with the dubs. Those short, round, stubby teeth can actually be a pretty cool benefit to you to be able to help lay down some of that hair. It's called the tiger claw method. It's pretty dope. And this is not only good for, you know, blending a taper with this type of hair texture, but also, as you can see, for laying down the front hair as well. You know, if you're gonna do like a little baby front taper, you know, just so you can get the line a little bit more crispy. But yeah, I mean, essentially, we're just laying down the hair that doesn't really belong with the rest of the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the little forehead hairs, basically. But you can also accomplish this with no guard at all, just going down, you know, with the grain. But I just thought it would be pretty cool to show you guys that. Now, when it comes to the lineup, the best way for me to go about this, guys, I'm a big fan of breaking up the lineup into 2 smaller jobs. Instead of going all the way from the left corner and going all the way to the right corner, I'm a big fan of starting in the middle. Make your first incision right there so you can get that crispy. Don't go too high, don't go too low. You just want to find that nice balance in the middle. But then I like to go ahead and just spread my way off to one corner. I'm going to pick one corner to attack. So you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and go right up to this corner, define that corner, hit the vertical bar, and then I can take a step back and slowly do the other side as well. You know, so this breaks up the hairline into 2 small missions instead of having one long, you know, difficult mission all the way across. You know what I mean? So it just makes the job a little bit easier, and it makes it easier to balance out like this. Now, these trimmers did hit pretty dang good out the box, but I actually did adjust the gap just a little bit. You know, I didn't want to go in and make it too heavy, because at the same time, like I am pretty heavy-handed when I'm cutting hair. I don't really glide on the skin like that. So I wanted to make sure that it was a custom tailor for me. So if you guys want content on how to set your trimmer blades for somebody that is a little heavy-handed, right? Like me, I don't have perfectly soft hands, right, when I'm cutting. Let me know. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below if you want to see how I adjust my blades, because like I said, sometimes I do like to press a little bit, and I had to make sure to get it precisely to where it wasn't going to harm my client or irritate their skin. But yeah, they're real cool. I got them set perfectly. I love that. Now, you also may have noticed, right, while I have this trimmer in my hand, remember we started this taper with the clipper closed. Look at how easily that taper blended out at the very bottom. That's the thing, guys. If you start your fade with the clipper all the way closed and you concentrate on getting a nice crispy blend there, then the balding out is just going to be effortless. Blending out or balding out at the very bottom used to be something that also would slow me down so much, and I would get so much anxiety about that. Like, I would do a perfect haircut and then bald it out at the end and ruin the whole thing. If I'm doing it like this, fading with the clipper closed first, that completely eliminated all concerns for that. So leave a comment down below if that's something that you feel like can help you in your cutting system. Now, this just might be one of my favorite parts about, you know, cutting hair, especially cutting curly textured hair like this, really tight coils, is when you go in and put the curl sponge on it. I just love the look, man, of how the taper just blends up into the darkness of this type of haircut, man. I love that, bro. And then especially like with this type, you know what, I'm gonna add this to my tagged products down below. This type of curl sponge, because the thing is that a lot of us have used the actual sponge material, but the problem is, man, that number one, it deteriorates. Number two, you can't really sanitize the ones that are made out of foam versus this is made out of durable rubber. So I'm gonna find one like this and I'm gonna link it in the tag section below so you guys can have a nice high quality reusable one, you know, that can actually be sanitized. Now notice here too, guys, pulling that needle back right there, guys, gives me so much extra airflow. Like, it's ridiculous. I didn't like this compressor too much at first, but it's because, number one, I didn't know how to maintain, and number two, I didn't know how to get a little extra airflow out of it. So I'm always gonna recommend, guys, that you start with the Tomb 45 no drip color enhancement. There are other ones that maybe they last a little longer, you know, on the skin, or maybe they actually dye hair, right? Because remember, Tomb 45 is actually meant as a skin tint. It's the only product on the market that's meant to be a skin tint. The other ones actually are hair dyes that have side effects of tinting the skin, which is cool. They work great. I'm not saying anything bad about them. However, the skin allergies is something to be considered. I've had clients that, you know, have told me that they've had really bad reactions. One of them ended up in a hospital because, for example, Just for Men was just way too strong for his skin. You know, other clients, same thing with Beijing, and you know what I mean? So like, there are different products out there, but I would highly recommend that you always have a bottle of no drip in black and in brown on your station, just because of that risk. And I'm gonna have that tagged in the tagged products down below as well, you know, along with this compressor and the stencil that we're using as well. But yeah, man, you can see it can look super natural, guys, and you already saw that the haircut was crispy before we started. It's just a matter of making this color enhancement complement it instead of correct it. So guys, now that the blend is done, the enhancements is done, really all we're doing at this point is just detailing it, right? We can comb through it one more time and just make sure that we didn't miss any hairs hanging over his edge. You know, we can double check the blend and make sure that we didn't miss anything when we balled it out at the bottom. But these are the qualities that are gonna help you stand out from amongst your competition, guys. This is what keeps your books full. This is what gets people booking in advance. You know what I mean? Just, and then the confidence that these guys go into work or into school with, you know, that's what it's all about. That is how you keep your books full, man, and your demand high. You know, leave a comment down below if you think that this is a video that got you more confident in cutting hair, if you were happy with the steps, and if you think this is something that you're willing to try. I know a lot of you guys have tried my haircutting system already, and you've seen really awesome results with it, man. So if you could share that in the comment section down below, that would be amazing. And guys, if you need help with marketing, right, let me know, because we have a whole Figure Barber Mentorship where we have just the systems in place to make sure that you can get your income high, way above 6 figures, guys. I remember there was a day where, like literally around 2022, 2023, my goal was, man, if I could make $70,000 in the barbershop and pay for health insurance and have a retirement account, if I can just do those things to make me feel comfortable, right, like as if I was working corporate, then, you know, I would be straight. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But after I joined the mentorship myself and applied everything and started making well over the 6-figure mark, that was when I started realizing the potential of this career, guys. So if that's something that you want to get into, man, check out the link in the description below. I will be one of your coaches personally, along with Basio and the rest of our coaching staff. But yeah, man, like we even had a guest appearance by Dre Clipperhands the other day. It was so dope having him come through, man. So definitely, guys, check out the link in the comment section below. You can see here, we finished up this haircut all the way, and these are some clips of the finished product, man. He was super happy with it. His dad was happy with it. All right, man, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and tune out of here, but I will catch you guys on the next tutorial. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. You guys mean the world to me, and I'm gonna keep on bringing that heat for y'all. Thank you so much.